Everybody, Adam here with Nurse Recruitment Experts, and forever coming out with the timely and seasonal topics. I'm going to talk about three tips for engaging nurses during the holiday season. I think we've all seen the graphs and the traffic. Recruitment slows down in December, there's no denying it, and this is the record month for record low applications. However, we stand on the precipice of one of the biggest months in the year, which is January. So I think it's important to not completely hibernate and bury yourself in a mountain of chocolate, but to consider what can you do during this period in order to keep top of mind, or at least middle of mind and not forgotten between nurses. And I think that is the key thing. Number one is you don't have to be top of mind in the sense of nurses always thinking about you. I think whenever you're trying to hire someone, there's always that pressure to follow up if they're not responding. And during the holiday season, that becomes a bit of an annoyance. An annoyance, sorry, that's an annoying word to pronounce. So I think a couple of years ago we had automated text going out and went out to about 1,000 people, and just one person responded. This was on Thanksgiving. She responded with an angry message saying, "Why are you messaging me on Thanksgiving?" Blah blah blah. And that one response made us realize that behind every angry response, there's probably 10 or 20 people that were annoyed but didn't respond, and then 100 who were mildly iffed. So don't be aggressively calling and texting and chasing up people. I would say during the Christmas week, at least, whenever they might be off and with their families, there's better things that you do. And as I say, like think about how can you be present and they're aware that you're there, but by no means you're not their number one focus of attention. So don't be expecting that. How can you go about it? Well, my first one would be cut the phone call outreach to a minimum if it's on the topic of do you want this job, but do outreach to people just to wish them a happy holiday. Say, I know that we're in touch. It could be we're currently in touch about a job or we've been in touch in the past few months. Here's something nice that I remembered about our interaction, and I thought I'd give you a call to wish you and your family the happiest of holidays and a very Merry Christmas. I just spent half an hour recording 60-second videos for each of our clients. You can do this really quickly. So if you're going to phone people, obviously pick up your mobile, but there's an app called loom.com where you can record little mini videos and then send people the links. And I find that personal touch from you as the recruiter helps it helps them to know, like, and trust you a bit more. So it's a great time of the year to break the barrier of you as a recruiter stroke salesperson trying to get them to do something, and make you more human and trustworthy. So that's number one. Uh, Call to wish them Merry Christmas. Um, Send a little video, a Loom video. It's a bit more personal than a mass automated text, and don't do it too close to Christmas Day. So the second one is that budget that you have for job ads. Take that and don't spend it on job ads. Either spend it on social media content. So you can promote posts on social media and advertise them, like creating videos of staff in the festive mood and then broadcasting that to a relevant audience, or just save the money and spend it in the new year because that's when it has a greater impact, right? And your job board rep will probably push you away from that, but it's a supply and demand thing. There's not a lot of supply this side of the new year, and I think dollars spent now are going to be wasted if you have a limited budget because next year they can go a lot further in January and February. So think about conserving that budget, or if you have an agency, if you have a team in house, go onto social media, create some content. You don't even have to pay. You can just put it out there, but it will reach more people if you sponsor and pay it. But that's the sort of thing that I think works this time of the year because You're not pushing jobs, but you are implanting your employer brand and your value proposition in people's minds. And that's a winning formula for whenever you are advertising jobs. It's like if you think about the companies that advertise during the Super Bowl, that's a one-off event. They're doing that so it compounds on top of all the other advertising that they're doing. Take Coca-Cola, you're not going to go and run out and buy a Coca-Cola from your sofa, but whenever you're in the restaurant, you look at the menu, all that advertising compounds and makes you want the Coca-Cola. Unless you're like me, you just love the taste of it and don't need advertising for it. So that's number two. Um, Conserve your job ad budget, and if you can spend it on social media, but I would say conserve most of it for the new year because you're probably going to need it, and it'll go further in January, February, March than it will in December. Okay. And number three, if you do have nurses that are currently going through the interview um, hiring process, make sure that there's someone there to respond to them if they reach out to you during the holiday season. So I'm advising don't be intensely proactive in chasing up candidates during this, but if they're coming to you and they're sending a text or an email, it's not great if you don't respond in a week. That's kind of, I would say, very average service. The expectation is people will be out of the office and it might be slower around this time of year. But do you want to be average? Probably not. If you do want to be average, then you should probably change career because it's really tough to be average and succeed in healthcare recruitment. If you want to be above average, like you need to have at least it could be someone in the team who is allocated certain days. So you set up like an auto forward in your email inbox so it goes to that person. Or at the very least, have a out of office auto reply and which will say when you're back. So I'm not suggesting make your recruiters or as a recruiter to log into your email every day when you're off, but set up expectations either before the holiday season, say, look, I'm going to be out a week, so we should get this over the line, or I'm going to pass you over to my colleague who is only out a couple of days, so that candidates, the customer, get an appropriate response and get what they need. Because that's what they're getting from other companies. Amazon isn't going to stop its customer service because it's the 23rd of December. And it's kind of that expectation of people. And recruitment gets a bad rep because we don't meet that expectation. And you can actually meet it through things that I've mentioned, the auto forward or setting appropriate expectations. So, hope you found these useful. To recap, send them a personalized message, could be a phone call or a Loom video, that's LOOM. Number two is do not spend all your budget. Don't take your annual budget and divide it by 12 and spend the 12th in December, right? On job boards, for example, take it out of the job boards the week of Christmas or the week after, whatever leads up to the 1st of January and Christmas Eve. And then you could put that on social media to get some branding, employer value proposition content out there, or place it into the new year where it will have the most effect. And number three, and I think this one is very, very important, set expectations for who will be able to respond when things. Check momentarily or set up an auto reply or auto forward it to relevant people. So have a great Christmas. I hope you find this useful. And I hope you actually follow through with it because nurses at this time of the year do appreciate the chance to relax. And we can actually help them do that by building them up and giving them things that are appropriate to them and make them feel good about themselves. So that's all for now. Tune in for more content and subscribe to our podcast, Nurses Recruitment Secrets, where you'll get it every week onto your phone. Goodbye.